Have you ever wondered why some things float and others sink? Like, why does a massive cruise ship stay on the surface of the ocean while a small pebble sinks to the bottom? The answer lies in a concept called buoyancy. Today, we're going to dive into the science behind floating, and by the end, you'll be able to explain why you don't sink like a rock when you're in the swimming pool. Buoyancy is the upward force that a fluid, like water or air, exerts on an object that is placed in it. This force works against gravity. So, while gravity is pulling the object down, buoyancy is pushing it up. The basic principle behind buoyancy was discovered by the ancient Greek scientist Archimedes. His famous principle, called Archimedes' principle, says this: an object immersed in a fluid experiences an upward force equal to the weight of the fluid it displaces. In simple terms, if you push an object into water, it pushes some of that water out of the way. The water pushes back with a force equal to the weight of the water that got displaced. If that force is greater than the object's weight, it floats. We've learned about density in science before, so I'll keep this short. As a refresher, density is how much mass is packed into a certain volume. The formula is density equals mass divided by volume. What you might not have known, however, is that density plays a large part in buoyancy. If an object is less dense than the fluid it's in, it floats. If it's more dense, it sinks. For example, wood usually floats because it's less dense than water. Steel sinks, unless you shape it like a boat. That's how ships float. They're made of dense metal, but they have a hollow shape that increases their volume without adding a lot of mass. That lowers their overall density. So, the shape and material of an object both play a role in buoyancy. So here, we have a bowl of water. It's just a normal, pretty big bowl. As you can see, is water. And then here, we have what's a tangerine, but it's still like an orange. It's not gonna work. So we're gonna put this in the water and it's gonna float. Wow. As you can see, it's floating because it's less dense than the water. So now we have the peeled orange, and because there's no air trapped in the skin, it sinks. Ooh, ah. So to sum it up, buoyancy is all about the balance between gravity pulling an object down and the fluid pushing it up. Whether something floats or sinks depends on its density compared to the fluid it's in. That's the end of my script, so thanks for watching.